Are you going to participate in the Monster Bass Big Bass Championship using TourneyX? What's up everybody, Gramps here. If you haven't used TourneyX before, you might have a few different questions. So today I'm going to go through the process of landing a fish, preparing to take the picture, taking the pictures, and then submitting the picture to the TourneyX leaderboard. There's several things that you have to do to comply to be able to get the tourney directors to approve that fish. Last thing you want to do is catch a monster bass and then not have it count. So a couple of things ahead of times. After you register for the tourney, go read the tournament rules. As I understand it, this is going to be a qualifying period, and then the championship is going to come at a later date. We're going to wait for more details from Rick and the crew at Monster Bass to let us know, but for now the goal is to learn how to use TourneyX and how to properly submit your fish with the proper identifier and following all the rules and regulations. So first things first, your phone. As you can see, I'm in a kayak. I have my phone tethered to my life jacket, so it's always with me even if I drop it in the water. First things first, make sure you go into your phone's camera settings and enable GPS location. The TourneyX application has to be able to go through and determine where your picture was uploaded from to show that you were in legal public waters. When you're doing tournaments like this, it has to be in public waters. Today, I'm out here on Patoka Lake. It's a state-owned property that anybody can come and fish. So that's public waters. So that's the first thing. You want to be able to take your pictures and enable GPS tagging. The second thing I do is I take all of my photos with my phone app. I don't use the TourneyX application. I want to be able to go back and look at those pictures to make sure that the pictures I took were all fully compliant with rules, regulations, so it doesn't get DQ'd. Now another thing I do is I have my phone set up to take pictures by voice. So some cameras like my Android here, you can give it words like cheese or shoot and it'll take a picture, and that's what I want to do when I'm holding my camera up over the fish, so I'm not trying to push buttons and do other things. I'm focused on making sure the fish is in view. So I use voice commands to take my pictures. Other than that, you need a good measuring device that falls within the rules. Make sure you go read those rules again and read them a couple of times. Doesn't matter if you're taking your pictures from the bank, in a boat, or a kayak. You got to make sure you follow the rules. I've seen some pictures being submitted already with people, you know, holding the bass up and giving the length of the fish, but how's the judge supposed to know that if you're standing there holding the fish? Not giving anybody, but that's why I decided to make this video so that you guys would be able to go back and make sure that you take good pictures. But what we want to make sure of is if you catch a monster bass, you're getting full credit for it. All right guys, so the first step is to make sure that you have a proper identifier. So once you get the TourneyX app downloaded, you've used the code from your monster bass thing to choose your region, the Texas, California, Florida, Mondo region, the northern or the southern region. This is what the dashboard of the TourneyX thing looks like. So you want to do this before you go out and go fish. So what you want to do is you want to click on identifiers, and then I'm going to click on the Monster Bass Northern region. And at the top of the corner, or at the top of the screen, you are going to see the identifier code, 3LH1. So what you're going to want to do from there is you want to write that code down someplace. Now you can take a piece of paper, put it in a plastic bag, and get a rubber band, and wrap this around your ruler. Or you can get a tournament tag like this that's got the little thing where you can print it out, write your code on it, and it's got a stretchy band to fit on your measuring board. Or if you do something a little fancier like I have, I've got a tournament tag from Blue Fox Gifts. This is called the tin tag, and I can write my codes on here with Sharpie, and then I just take rubbing alcohol and wipe them off when the tournaments are over. But as you can see here, for the Monster Bass Northern region, the identifier code is 3LH1, and I've got that here on my board. Now, the legal boards, make sure you guys go read the rules, because you're going to want a proper measuring device. Most of the common plastic ones, the metal ones that come with boats, things like that. But what you want to make sure you do is read the rules and understand how to properly upload the pictures of your fish so you get proper credit. This left side is called the fence, this upper part. What I did was I took a little Sharpie and highlighted, and then you always want to have a sticker or something against the fence so that the judges can see that the fish is pushed all the way against this fence. Make sure the mouth is closed. You want the fish, its left eye has to be shown to the judge. So here's a picture of the last fish I uploaded. So as you can see, I took and pushed it all the way against there, made sure his mouth was shut. You want to make sure that the whole fish is in the board. And you also want to make sure that the next set of number past the fish's tail is visible, because if they can't tell how long your fish is, then you're not showing them how long the fish is. Now, like my catch board has numbers up here, but they go by these numbers here. So you want to make sure you take a picture that's overhead, shows the whole fish, and then shows the next set of numbers past the tail of the fish. But you also want to make sure the identifier is clearly visible. So you want a nice overhead shot. I got fish jumping out of the water behind me. You want a nice overhead shot. So enough chit-chatting. Let's get out, catch the fish, and then I'll go through the whole process for what I do from landing the fish to getting prepared to take the pictures, taking the pictures, and then uploading the fish and submitting it to TourneyX. So let's get going. All right, let's get down to the fun part, actually, you know, catching some fish. As I understand the rules, it's a 12-inch minimum, but it's a big bass challenge. So every time you catch a bigger bass than your last bass, you just upload another photo. We'll go through several baits and catch us a fish and then get it uploaded. I've already uploaded a 17.75 bass. We finally caught something better than a dink. Jack hammer. There's nothing better than the Z-Man jackhammer. Nothing. Thank you. So my next cull or upgrade would require me to have an 18-inch fish or bigger. But if I get a smaller fish than that, we'll go through the process of taking the picture and uploading it, and then I'll just let the TourneyX app reject that picture because I already have a bigger fish. But we'll go through the process so I can show you guys what the proper process is so that you can get your fish uploaded to the app.
20 minutes later.
We got a fish on the net. Got him right there in the corner of the mouth. He might be 12, I'm not sure. Yep, he's right at 12. All right, so now something else I was needed to talk about. This is a clip on a line that I put in the fish's mouth. It's attached to this stretchy material, and then I drop him in the water. So what I'm gonna do is take my board and lay it across. Now, if this was a big fish and not a 12-incher, I would take my net and put it over here against this wall, and then put my catch board, in this case across my kayak. If you're on the ground or whatever, you can you know, just lay it on the ground, make sure your identifier's in there really well. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get my camera out, and I am going to bring up my camera, make sure it's facing forward, and then I'm going to put it back into my pocket here, and then I'm going to bring up our fish. Hello, Mr. Dink. Thank you for being a volunteer. If anything, these little fish should be the one that jump out of off of the board as fast as you can. If you're in a kayak or if you're on the bank, before you put your fish on a board on a hot day, dip it in the water to cool it off. Just like you wouldn't want to sit your bare ass on a hot hood of a car, these fish don't want to lay on a hot board. So make sure you dip your board, cool it off, and then get ready. So now I've got my fish in my left hand, I'm gonna grab my phone in my right. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this fish on the board. Push him all the way against there. And make sure your fingers are not under this gill plate. You can have your fingers on the fish to hold it in place, but it can't be under that gill. And you have to be ready. And again, I highly recommend putting your net over there. Checking my phone again. Getting it pointed in the right direction. All right, I'm gonna make sure the fish's mouth is closed. Push it all the way it gets there. Overhead camera shot. Shoot. Shoot. Now I'm gonna come a little more over the top, and there he went. So I should have some good pictures there. But as you can see from the overhead camera, those little ones, man, they're active. All right, so we'll go ahead and thank him for his service. Mr. 12-inch dinker, thanks for playing, being our volunteer. We're gonna go try to catch your fat granny. Now, if that was a big fish, I would have put the fish back on the donkey leash and put it back in the water, and then went through and looked at my gallery to make sure I had good pictures of that fish. So now I want to open my gallery up. Do not alter these pictures in any way. If they're zoomed way out like that, that's just fine. Once they're uploaded, the tournament directors could zoom in and out all they want. You just need to take a look at it. So I'm going to open it up, and if I can turn it sideways, then I'm going to zoom in, look at it. Yep, the mouth is shut. Yep, it's over the 12-inch mark. So this one is, I'd say, 12 1/4. You see his tail's past the quarter sign. So this is a legit fish. I can scroll over here. I see my identifier. Good to go there. So I see the identifier. I see what the measurement is. But I can see that it's over 12 inches. I see my identifier, and I see the fish's mouth is against the board, and it's closed. So it's a legit picture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to close down my gallery. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to our dashboard, and I am going to say submit catch. I am going to choose the Monster Bass Northern Region Tournament and say submit catch. That fish was, stop. I'm going to browse photos. The gallery, I can see the whole fish. I'm going to put in 12. Two 5, and then hit submit cache. Now I can submit it to the live well. Now you want to submit it to the live well if you're someplace with no cell signal to upload the fish. But I'm close enough to this bridge, I have just enough signal, I should be able to upload it. So I'm going to say submit to leaderboard. Nope, I'm wrong. I drifted down and I'm not close enough to the bridge to upload. So I'm going to say save to live well. Now, when I get back to cell phone signal, and this is going to happen to you guys, because if you live out and fish in places like I do, there's not cell signal everywhere you go. So when you get back home or wherever else, you go back to your catch photo release live well, pull up that picture, hit submit, and upload it. And I'll do that later on when I get home. All right, guys, so that's the basic premise of how you upload a photo into TourneyX, especially if you're going to be participating in the Monster Bass Big Bass Challenge. Hey, if you have any questions, drop me a comment down below. We'll try to answer any questions you might have. Be sure to go subscribe to Monster Bass on YouTube. Check out their 10,000 subscriber giveaway bundle. Big bunch of stuff that they're giving away. And hey, as always, go outside when you can and make a memory. They last a lifetime.